God damn it, Ace. You never should have put down the wrench and picked up the gun.
Among the skull tattoos that cover Angela's arms, there's a single heart, and within that heart, a single name, Ace.
Sorry about the waterworks. I'm still pretty broke up over Ace. I'm Angie. You kids must be the new recruits old Vargas trained up. Lord, y'all just babies.
Babies? Us?
Sorry, but you are. As cute as little kittens. Y'all remind me of us. Snake, Razor, Thrasher, and me. Back when we were just starting out. Thinking we were gonna save the world for the future. Thinking none of us would ever die. Christ, sorry. Don't listen to me. Youth is good. Optimism is good. If we all started out worn out and jaded like me, nobody'd ever try to change the world. So you kids go ahead and give it a go. Maybe it'll work this time.
We saw you at Ace's funeral. You knew him well? Yeah, they actually had a live-action actress, playing Angela.
They all hurt.
Again, I recommend checking out the live-action opening.
Man. Ace wasn't even a ranger. Not at first. He worked as a driver and mechanic for Farron Brock. God damn it, Ace! I knew this one was trouble, I knew it.
How well do you know Vargas?
Better than he'd like. Back in the day, the General was the craziest of us all. But somehow, after he brought down Base Cochise, he became the sanest. Now he's running the whole show, and doing a damn fine job. While I'm still walking patrols and answering radio calls. Shows you how much ambition I got, huh?
I see you have Ace's name tattooed in that heart on your arm.
You noticed that, huh? Well, Ace always said I wore my heart on my sleeve. Yeah, I mean, Ace, we were more than just old army buddies, if you know what I mean. That's why it hurts so bad. That's why I want to come with you.
So Vargas used to be called Snake?
Well, like I said, he was one wild-ass son of a bitch back in the day. But I think the weight of his responsibilities has kind of squashed that out of him now. He hasn't been in a decent bar fight in, shit, a decade, maybe?
You also mentioned Hellraiser?
He's another one gone. Went out for a patrol a few weeks back and never came home. Don't know if he's dead, or AWOL, or gone off to join the Scorpions. All anybody knows is he hasn't called in, and we haven't heard from anybody who's seen him. I miss old Hellraiser like blazes. Didn't talk much. Didn't make friends easy. Wasn't big on social graces. But he was as loyal as they come, and when the shit started flying, he was the guy you wanted at your back. He didn't win that name by accident. Sharp as a razor, scary as hell.
And what about Thrasher?
You better call him Gilbert now. Funny, back in the day, he just seemed like this big old growly bear. Strong as an ox and just about as articulate. But then he got all torn up during our fight with the robots from Base Cochise, and he couldn't go out on patrol no more. Any other commander would have handed him his walking papers, but Vargas doesn't dump old friends. So he started him working in the museum. And once you know it, turns out the old bear has a knack for cartography. He's been gradually mapping our little corner of the Wasteland ever since. Who'd have thunk it?
You've been mentioning Cochise a bit.
An old military facility from before the war. And the biggest fight the Rangers ever had. There was some crazy computer in there that kept spitting out robots and sending them off to kill people. We had one hell of a fight putting it down. Earned our stripes that day. Literally. That's when I became Captain Death. Yeah, the Base Cochise AI. Don't know what was wrong with it. Broken, I guess. It thought everybody was its enemy. Wanted to kill the whole planet.
You know, that old song and dance. You also mentioned the Red Scorpions?
You weren't briefed on those fucks during your training?
Nope.
Well, let me fill you in. You know when we left the prison and moved here to the Citadel? Well, the Scorpions were the jerks who moved into the prison when we moved out. Just a bunch of Rangers back then, but they had been getting more organized. Call themselves a militia now, and they try to act like they're the Desert Rangers of eastern Arizona. Well, that's a load of horse shit. The protection racket ain't the same as protecting people. They shake down all their towns for money. And if the locals don't kick in, they smash them up. The Rangers aren't like that. We get by on donations and good old-fashioned scavenging.
What can you tell us about Eastern Arizona?
Basically everything between the prison and the radiation clouds to the east. There are a few small towns and farms out there, which the Scorpions claim is their territory. Rangers used to patrol that area before we moved here, and we knew it pretty well. But a lot can change in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's all as clean and nice and crime-free as the Scorpions say it is. But I've got my doubts.
And what about the radiation clouds? Those curtains that keep us within the lower area levels, the lower level areas, until story or level progression allows us to go further.
The edges of the map, kiddies. Big hot areas we can't get into without getting cooked to a crisp. The clouds move around some with the wind and the weather, but there are permanent hot spots on every side of us. North, south, east, and west. Until we started hearing those weird broadcasts, I kinda thought those clouds went on forever, and that Arizona was the last place on Earth. But maybe there's more people out there. Maybe the whole rest of the world's just fine, and we're the only ones in hell. Wouldn't that be a joke?
Yes, a cruelly hilarious joke that wouldn't at all just retroactively shit on the entire franchise. Cough, Metro, cough! Have you heard any of these strange broadcasts?
Ace played me some of them before he died. Hard to make out a lot of it, but what I heard made my hair stand on end. Some guy talking about turning men into machines. Or machines into men, or some shit. But the crazy thing was, then he starts talking about us, the Rangers. Saying we're the cause of all the trouble in the world, and we need to be wiped out so his glorious future can be born. I mean, who is this guy? Where is he? What the fuck does he have against us?
Benny only just blinked back into paying attention. Where's Quartz?
Man, not sure I can recall. Haven't been out that way in ages. Don't even know if it's still on the map. Ask Thrasher, he'd know.
And now Will, after biding her time, wants to know why you thought Ace's mission was trouble.
He was working on the same thing Vargas has you working on. Trying to track down radio signals from beyond the edges of the map. All seemed a bit boring and scientific to me. But then Ace started saying he thought someone was following him. I asked him to let me come with him when I met him at Rail Nomads to give him the repeater units. But he told me to go back to base. He said he was just jumping at shadows because those radio broadcasts had spooked him. I should have gone with him. Why didn't I go with him?
Was this about rail nomads?
Could be a nice little place, if the Atchisons and Topekans would kiss and make up. I can't even remember what it's all about, but between them, they got enough old railroad tech that if they worked together, they could give this area a real transportation system. Instead, it seems like all they want to do is blow each other's heads off. Idiots.
Do you know any more about these repeater units that we haven't already heard?
I don't really know the details. It's all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo about transmitters and north-south axis and signals bouncing off the clouds. Ask Woodson about it. He's our radio genius.
Do you know Woodson, the guy you're talking about?
Radio technician Wade Woodson? Sure do. He's the guy that makes sure you can hear Vargas when you're out on patrol. Keeps the machines running and the signal clear. He'll also talk your ear off about circuits and frequencies and I don't know what else if you let him. But be nice to him. He's your lifeline to the base.
Say, listen. Vargas asked you to look into Ace's death because he thought I was too upset to be professional about it. He didn't want me going off half-cocked and shooting up all of Arizona looking for his killer. But I gotta find this guy. Ace and me, well, we'd been fighting side by side for nigh on 20 years. I'm not letting him die unavenged.
I'm not sure if that's the same voice actress, but that's definitely not the same audio quality. That little paragraph we just heard was from the original game. Everything else we just heard was new stuff added to the director's cut.
So, well, I know it's going against orders, but if you let me tag along and be in at the kill, well, I'll help you find your feet out there. Maybe give you a few pointers along the way. I may be old and slow, but I know the wastes like the back of my hand. What do you say?
Well, we could certainly use the extra carry weight and the extra gun, so yes. Even though Vargas is completely right,
Cool.
she is...
No need to tell Vargas why I joined you. If anybody asks, I'm just helping you get oriented, all right?
Yeah, she is not entirely stable right now. You'll see. I'll be keeping her along, even though I unlocked the achievement in the couple hours that I played previously. I will be redoing the circumstances that allowed me to unlock that achievement. Yes, we are moving out now. I like that picture, I really do. That's really all I have to say about it. Oh, also, before I forget, because I always... God damn it!
Ranger Command, come in.
Copy! Thanks for interrupting me while I was doing something.
Roger, Echo 1. Just making sure your radio is working. I'll be your dispatcher from here on out. I also wanted to give you a little heads up on your water situation. If you've all got full canteens, you should have enough water to reach the place where Ace died with plenty to spare. But if you're going to go exploring, you'll want to fill up again at any oasis you can find.
Right.
Remember, your main priority is to recover the repeater units Ace was carrying. Once you've got the devices, you'll be headed to Ag Center and High Pool to install them. But we'll talk about that after you acquire the repeaters. We must, of course, bring Ace's killers to justice. But right now, that's secondary to discovering the location of that signal.
So it's important to stay in radio contact with you? Asked nobody, because we've all been through basic training. Does that mean you weren't always the dispatcher? Asked the newbies.
Until now, Woodson's been our dispatcher. But Ace's death made me realize I've spent too many years in my office, walled off from the world and how it's changing. I need to know what's going on out there, and I figure the best way to do that is to start listening to the people's problems. So, I've decided that from now on, I'll be the one fielding calls and talking in your ear when you head out into the wastes.
It's been a couple of years since I played the original Wasteland 2. I don't remember if Vargas actually took over for Woodson at this point. If he didn't, then this is just another example of them trying to fill in. Like, they didn't have access to another voice actor for Woodson, so they just got Vargas's voice actor to pull double duty.
Don't let that make you self-conscious or nothing.
Okay, Roger, over and out.
10-4, Echo 1, carry on. Ranger.
Yeah. So, the thing I always forget to do is taking Ace's wrench, which is actually a decent melee weapon, and equipping it to Angela. She's also got faded letters. Probably love letters of some sort, I would imagine. Angie's still clearly upset over what happened to Ace, and Tippy, being the kind of person that she is, tries to cheer her up, and once they reach the oasis, Tippy, to raise everyone's spirits, decides to go skinny dipping. And then everyone yells at her for her makeup running off in the water, which will take a little bit of time to filter out. Tippy learned a very valuable lesson about time and place and how to handle grieving people. And Troll also learned that he now has a clown fetish. And yes, we have the radiation cloud just up to the north there. It's only at level 1, but still don't want to go anywhere near that. I like that's the effect for discovering new locations in this game. It's very stylized.
Roger that, Echo 1. When you reach the area where Ace's body was found, give it a good going over. The folks that picked him up said it looked like he crawled there. Maybe you can find some tracks leading to where he was attacked. Copy?
Copy.
10-4, Echo 1, and check in immediately with any new info. Those repeater units are a top priority. Ranger Command out.
Got it. Alright, Tippy, you're on point. So, this spot right here is where his body was recovered, because that's where all the blood splattering is. Tippy, keep your wits about you. Keep that perception up. Here's his badge.
That's Ace's star. How did it end up way the hell over here?
I honestly don't know. That's never explained. Because we see the blood trail, he walked over here.
I don't get shaken up easy. This place is sending shivers up my spine. God damn it, Ace. Why won't you let me come with you?
If you want to play in our backyard, you gotta pay. 15 scrap, or we'll break your faces. And my dog will eat your corpses.
So we could say, we're not playing, we got a job to do and you're in the way, and that'll immediately start a fight. You can pay the 15 scrap, which I'm sure as hell not gonna do. Smartass level 1, again, not investing any points in Smartass for my main 4 characters, because we are going to be getting a follower later on who has Smartass. But from what I recall, the Smartass response here is something along the lines of, your backyard is our front yard, so that kind of evens out, and that confuses him so much that he just kind of stays there trying to figure that out. Hardass, which I really shouldn't be having Angela do. That should be Troll, so that way he would get the experience. Hardass is, sure, let's do this, and after we're done kicking your asses, we're going to eat what's left of your dogs. I think that gets him to back down. But again, I really need Benny to level up. So, and also, the kiss-ass response actually is the best response right here. Very intimidating. The Desert Rangers are looking for men like you. For a small fee, I can call in and introduce you and your boys to General Vargas.
Really? You'd do that? Man, this is great. It'll be so much easier to get people to pay our tolls once we have badges. Here, take this scrap. We'll head to the Citadel now. Let me mark my good think spot on your map. That's where I had the idea to set up here.
So we get access to a shrine location. We get experience for ending that peacefully. Damn, we got a lot of experience for taking care of that. Yeah, I think we got a little bit of scrap for that. I'm not sure. How much scrap do we get? Where the hell do I get this? Huh. Not sure where it lists where our grand total scrap count is, but... So anyway, yeah, we just got some new recruits for the Ranger Citadel, so... Overall, worked out well. And Angie, I guess you'll take these extra 6 rounds for now. And... Benny? Okay, 76% chance of mechanical repair. Save the game right here. Because I hate randomness in video games. I really, really do. Oh, but it's like Dungeons and Dragons! Yeah, I'm not a fan of that entirely. See what I mean? 76% chance of success, still failed, and that kind of like blocks you off on some stuff. So let's try that again, shall we? Oh, you butt. What about computer science? Critical failure. Wow. You see? Bad rolls. Really freaking bad rolls. That's terrible. This is why we save scum, people. 76% chance on all 3 attempts, and they all failed. One of them was a critical failure. That is some nonsense. Seriously, what the hell's going on here? So, yeah, apparently computer science was able to, repair the damn thing.
Matthias's law is vengeance. And soon, Matthias's law...
I'm not sure if I get, like, double bonus point. I'm not sure if it's, like, you could either use computer science or mechanical repair. I'm not sure how that works out.
Kill those so-called upholders of justice. The desert...
Logbook page?
Yeah, that's definitely Ace's handwriting. I'd recognize those chicken scratches anywhere.